Welcome to the Modern Insurance Agents Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about how to get referrals on autopilot and how to get clients without chasing them. Welcome to the Modern Insurance Agent Podcast.
We're your host, David and Elle Denning.
What happens when a millennial couple dives headfirst into the insurance world, scales $1 million remote business, and decides to share the journey with the world?
You get the Modern Insurance Agent.
Here, we reveal the messy, magical, and sometimes hilarious realities of building a business and a life you love.
From traveling the globe to building remote teams. Yes, even working remotely on top of a mountain in the Philippines. We're sharing insights, strategies, and plenty of laughs to help agents and entrepreneurs succeed.
Because let's face it, success isn't just about hitting numbers.
It's about designing a life that works for you.
So let's dive in and build something extraordinary together. The best clients don't chase leads, they attract them. But if you find yourself stuck in the grind of constant cold calls and endless outreach, you're doing it wrong. So today, let's talk about the referral system that brings clients through like Autopilot and how that works. So, Elle, before we get started, let's talk about where they can get resources for growing their business.
Yep.
Tell them where.
You got to go get those resources, right? So head on over to jumpstartgonow.com/podcast to get the show notes as well as a marketing guide that we put together for you that actually walks you through how to generate referrals without being awkward or weird asking for them. A lot of what we're going to talk about today, we put it together in a handy guide that you can download and follow along with. Again, that's at jumpstartgonow.com/podcast.
Thanks, Elle. So after you guys have grabbed that, today we're going to hop into a few different things we're going to cover with you guys. We're going to talk about the 3 key referral sources you need to unlock consistent, high-quality leads. Sounds good. Everybody wants those, right? So, and we're going to talk about how to get referrals without awkwardly asking or feeling like a salesperson. No one likes that. No one likes to feel pressure. It's weird. And then we're also going to talk about the biggest mistakes agents make with referrals and, more importantly, how to fix them. So, Elle, hopping in today, where are we kicking off?
Yeah, so I think it'd be an interesting place to start talking about why agents really struggle to generate referrals. It's like this kind of mystical type thing, I feel like, with referrals. Like there's this mindset almost like if you just do a good job with your clients, then you're never going to have to ask, or you can be super passive with your referrals. And so I feel like agents just kind of sit around, twiddle their thumbs, hoping and praying that people are going to give them referrals without being an active participant in it. So David, what keeps people stuck in that thinking?
So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, people don't realize about taking action to create things, right? Action breeds results. I think we all know this, but yet we don't do this. And so in reality, agents, hey, if I sit here, if I do a good enough job, then, deals will just come flowing my way. Referrals will just come to me without actually asking for them at all or taking any steps to make that happen other than, oh, if I do a good enough job, it happens. Like, and no other aspect of our lives is this a reality, right? Like, I can't, go sit in a corner and like, if I sit here long enough, someone will come up and ask me to go out on a date, right? Like, I don't think it works like that. I definitely didn't work with you like that. And so, in reality, like it's the same thing. Like, oh, if I sit at home and in my room, maybe one day someone will come by and ask me, oh, do you help with insurance? I'd like an insurance policy. But in reality, centuries and centuries later, I don't think it ever happened, right? So it's the same thing here. Like we need to take action in order to make results happen. And that's the same thing with referrals. So I need to make sure I've got processes, systems, I'm doing the things in order to maximize this, because why not? Yeah. These are the golden type of leads, right? Like they're the golden eggs. They're the things every agent wants and dreams of. yet for some reason goes and spends all their time and energy trying to chase the least qualified, hardest to get in contact people that don't even want to talk to them, that cuss them out. Why make your life miserable trying to chase things? And I think in reality, agents are like, well, I don't know how to get more referrals. So I get that. And that's what we're going to talk about this. But I just want to talk about that mindset of like, why go chase the worst things possible instead of figuring out and producing more of the golden eggs, right? If I asked every agent this question, I've never had someone answer it differently, which, let me know if you're listening to this and you answer it differently on this. But like, would you rather have a pipeline full of referrals all day long, or would you rather have a pipeline full of leads? And the answer is always referrals, right? Like we're talking significantly higher close rates, like 80-90% on average or ever on this. Like, why would I not want my pipeline full of it? And I think that's what we're going to talk about today, of how do I increase this so I have to less go get cussed at or yelled at or chase people down and listen to a dial tone all day.
Yeah, totally. And I love what you're talking about as far as like how it's like we expect our clients or referral partners or our audience on social media to be mind readers, like read my mind and know that I want you to send me referrals, but I'm not going to ask for any referrals. It would be like, it's like you talked about dating, like someone coming up to you and asking you to go out on a date. Like, yeah, maybe, but wouldn't that be expedite things a lot more if you ask somebody? It'd also be like, if I want to go out to dinner tonight, I don't expect you to read my mind and be like, hey, Elle, let's go out to dinner tonight. I communicate to you, I would like to go out to dinner tonight. And it's the same thing with your clients and your prospects and your social media audience. If you want to grow through referrals, you got to start asking for them.
I love it. Elle, am I a mind reader? No, terrible. Like Elle figured this out very early in our relationship, or else this probably wouldn't have gone too far. So somehow we're still married. So I think she realized I'm not a mind reader. Communication is key. But here, let's say she's not a great communicator, does expect mind reading. Let's throw a little relationship tip and trick in here and why possible. So I don't know where she wants to go dinner. So I say, Elle, you're going to be really excited. I'm taking you to one of your favorite places for dinner. Where do you think you're going? And she's going to guess something, and we'll be like, you're right, Elle, that's where we're going. She just told me where she should go, right? So that's how you trick them if you have to do it. But I prefer not to play any games. But if you need to do it, here's relationship advice 101 right here. So
this is not a relationship podcast.
This is not a relationship podcast. Please. Just like I have to clarify, I'm not an attorney, but also not a relationship advice giver.
You're not your attorney, therapist, or
relationship coach. I don't know what do you call people like that. Sure. What? Moving on, back to referrals, the more important thing, right? Okay. So we're talking about not being passive. So cool. Let's talk about some things agents can do. And some of this is, yes, asking and processes. We'll definitely talk about that. But one thing I want to mention, things like social media and things like this help us stay in front of people, stay on top of mind. And sometimes this is just right place, right time of I'm staying in the forefront of their mind. And someone says, oh yeah, I need some help with insurance, or, this topic comes up. They're like, oh yeah, I just saw David earlier today on social. He helps with that. He does that. Right. Cool. Let me connect you. Versus I haven't talked to my agent in 6 months or a year. I don't even know their own name. Well, that's going to be pretty hard to get your referrals, isn't it? So is that you? Are you guilty of that? Please don't be, right? How many agents sell a policy, never talk to anyone, and then they expect referrals? Of course not. So how do agents know if they have a referral problem? What are some key indications besides, just radio silence on any referrals?
So we like to really shoot for every one sale equals 3 referrals. So if you're not getting 3 referrals for every new client that's coming into your door, then you probably might not have a referral problem, but you have an area of optimization for sure.
Absolutely. One of the coaches and trainers in our she used to not pay her producers unless they got 3 referrals per sale, which I'm not necessarily saying institute that, but it was effective. Like, hey, I got a sale. Hey, where are the referrals? Oops. Hey, if you want to get paid, you better go get those. I better go ask, right?
So the process isn't complete if you haven't asked for referrals.
Correct. And make that a part of your process. Hey, I'm not done until I've asked this question. Have I gone through this, right? And yes, let's go ahead and hop into that. But I do want to remind people, like, referrals don't just come from clients. keep in mind that I should be getting referrals from, even prospects I didn't even sell. They had a good experience. I was at home. They just had something really good already in place, maybe, or something. Hey, I can still get referrals there. I can still get referrals from vendors that I use for my business. I can get referrals from strategic referral partners, other businesses that have my target clients. They can send them over to me for my email list, text, social. We'll talk about those things too. But I want to keep in mind that's not just off the sale, because a lot of people are like, I didn't make any sales, so I didn't get any referrals. There's plenty of ways to get referrals besides just that. So if you're not getting consistent referrals from both your clients as well as referral partners, then this is what we're going to talk about today. And this is what's very, very important. So let's talk about the most basic. I just sold a policy. I just helped someone, right? And so I'm at the end of this conversation. Maybe it's been 20, 30 minutes. Maybe it's been an hour or more, right? And I've spent a lot of time helping them and doing a good job, which is key, right? Like if I did a terrible job, like I shouldn't be asking for referrals, but then I probably wouldn't have sold the policy either, right? So I've sold it. So I want to ask about it the right way. It's not salesy. That doesn't feel awkward and weird, but I do need to ask, or else they're not mind readers. They don't know that I even want referrals. Maybe I don't even want them, right? They don't know until I ask, right? So if I'm talking to Elle, I've just helped her put a policy in place. I'm going to say something like, hey, Elle, thank you so much for trusting me with your time and for being able to help put this policy in place. Congratulations on deciding to protect your family, your home, your health, whatever it is I'm helping with, right? And just so you know, this is what I really focus on, is making sure people have the right information, can make the best decisions just like you did. And so, Elle, who are 2 or 3, pick a number, more than one, pick 2 or 3, who are 3 people that you know that I'd be able to help give them that same amount of info so that they can decide on protecting their family, their friends, their health. And then I just pretty much look down, pen to paper, and wait on that, because I am actually expecting them to provide me. I'm not asking if or, oh, if you ever think of. Those are passive questions, lead to passive results. I want to ask a very purposeful question of a result that I expect, which is for them to actually give me some names or info for people that I could get in contact with. So I'm looking down and I'm waiting. And now this part may be a little awkward, but it's important and it is something that you need to do. And I need to just wait for Elle to respond, right? And she's going to do 1 or 2 things. She's either going to, oh yeah, my neighbor Susie, my cousin, my my best friend's mom, whatever it is, and be like, great, and I want to get the contact info. Or she says, oh, I'm not really sure, right? And I'll say, hey, Elle, I totally understand. Like, listen, I don't even remember what I had for breakfast sometimes today, right? Like, but in the meantime, we got this cool thing on our phone. Like, if you can pull your phone out and scroll through your contacts real quick, you'll probably see a few people that kind of spark, oh yeah, of course, right? And the same thing here. That's what I do. I just pull out my phone, look through my contacts, and I then have her look through her contacts and give me 2 or 3 people that I would be able to get some info to potentially help. Now, even when she gives me the info, once again, what do most agents struggle with? Having someone answer the phone, right? And once again, we all get hit with numbers we don't recognize. And so, yeah, if I'm going to call someone, they're probably not going to answer me. Or if I'm doing something like Medicare, I can't just call them out of the blue anyways, right? And so that's where I say, hey, Elle, I really appreciate you giving me those referrals and for people that I can help. Elle, what's going to happen if I give them a call? And Elle's going to be like, well, I don't know. They're probably not going to answer. They don't know who you are. And I was like, yeah, that's right, right? And I don't want them to think I'm some weird random person, or at least not weirder than normal, right? And so I say, Elle, could you connect me in a group text, which would probably be best. Group email would be second, but a group text, and let them know, who I am and that I'll be reaching out. So that way they know I'm not just a random person, and be like, yeah, I can do that. And then put me in a group text, a group email, and then I can take it from there. My chances of contact and helping that person are significantly better. And now if they introduce me even about Medicare, the person's like, oh yeah, I'd like that. Cool. Now I can get my production to contact, scope of appointment, all that good stuff too. So whatever the line of assurance is. So I want to be active and specific so I can get the actual results that I want from that. Elle, anything you wanted to add on?
Yeah, I think the specific part of it is super key. And I love like how conversational it is. It's like, it's very low pressure. It's very easy. But really being specific on who you want them to connect with. I think just being like 3 people that like if, you listener on the other side of this, if I said to you, who are 3 people that that you could connect me with, probably like your mind goes blank, right? But
Deer in that light.
right? You're like on the spot. You got to think of 3 people. So the like, I'm not sure, I kind of have to think about it type thing. Yeah, there's probably some smoke screen associated with that, but usually people just really don't know. So one thing you can think about is like, you've just gone through all of this information gathering about your new client. You probably know a lot about or hopefully you know a lot about their situation. And so I would recommend picking out a couple of things like them. So if it's like, if they're a married couple without kids, for example, be like, hey, do you have any other friends that, don't have kids that are also homeowners that could benefit from a conversation like this? So you're being very specific in your ask, which is going to help them like think a little bit more about that. And plus, it also just sounds more intentional instead of just like a sales question at the end too. Or like business owners, for example, like, yeah, even like business owners is great, but maybe it's like, hey, what about hair salon owners or nail salon owners or other people that run marketing agencies? Those types of things. It's like the specificity of it. I don't think I said
Nailed
that
it.
right.
Perfect.
I don't think I said it
I
right
think
at
that's
all.
exactly how it's supposed to go. So
it really helps with jogging people's memories and helping them actually think about real people that they could recommend.
I love it. And you're completely right. Like if giving specific examples, helping, not proctor, but helping, proct. Is that right? I don't know. Prompt. That's the word I was looking for. See, listen, we're nailing the English language. You can also tell that we didn't major in English, by the way. It was actually Spanish, right? So anyways, so with that, I love being able to prompt them to help them even think of those things. And this also, I think we're, not something we're diving into today on, but having a defined target market can help as well. Because when I'm helping a very specific target market, then that helps make it so much easier of them seeing the value of me being able to help. Say I'm helping teachers with their 403Bs. Like, who are 3 teachers that'd be able to also help with their 403Bs? And they're like, oh, well, I know exactly teachers, and I know based on what you've helped me with or discussed, like exactly why that's so critical for what you've done, and been able to, explain these same things you explained to me to them. Yes, Susie, Bob, and Teresa, I'd love to get you connected with them, right?
You just had 3 teachers, and 3 people just popped into my mind that I know that are teachers.
There you go. I didn't even plan that question, right? And so that's key. Like, and so yes, being specific, prompting them, helping make that easier for them. And one thing I want to bring up here too is timing. Asking at the end of the sale, I think is great. Is it the only time I can ask, or the only time that makes sense, or maybe even the best time? No, I wouldn't say so. I think we definitely want to do it then. But I think at the time, once, policies got delivered and I've checked in on them, once I've, the next day sent a text or email or phone call, just thanking them. Hey, thanks for allowing me to protect your family. I really appreciate it. I want to touch base as the policy arrives. Any questions, just touch base with them a week later. And at this point, is a really good time to ask for referrals. If you didn't ask for on the call, which you should have, but if you didn't, is a good time to once again ask, like, hey, I know you brought up a few family members when we were talking. Who is that cousin again that you mentioned that could use that? Oh, yes. Bob, let me get you over to him. Right. And so that's a good time to ask as well. But this is also, once again, key things is to continue touch points with your clients. And this is where I get opportunities to ask for referrals even once a month, once a quarter. And now all of a sudden I will have a lot more referrals coming from my clients just because of the sake I'm building that into my process and asking. And yeah, I can build into automations and things, but as I'm having conversations or touching base with them, it's always good to be able to kind of bring it up. But naturally, I'm not just like shooting text every like week or two. Hey, got more referrals for me? Got any more of them referrals? I need some more referrals, right? Like, it's weird people get like that with leads and not referrals. I'd much rather like give me some more referrals, than leads, right? But once again, it's active, right? Like this is the whole thing coming down. I want to be active with both getting them for my clients at the time of sale and ongoing. But same thing when it comes to my referral partners, right? How many people go to different networking events. Here's my card. Let me take your card and let's both throw them in a shoebox, because none of us want to give each other referrals or do anything. We all just want you to give me your business. And that's our networking. I'm just here for the free snacks and the drinks, and nothing's ever going to come out of it. And that's, trust me, we've done a lot of in-person networking, and that's how it goes. I've got shoebox to prove it or ever, and probably a few extra pounds from just eating the free food. Right. And so with that said, like, the being strategic and active with my referral partners is really important too. That's something we teach. Like, how many of you guys are meeting regularly with your strategic referral partners, going over the referrals they've sent, what was good about them, what maybe wasn't a fit, how they deliver those referrals to you, and going over what referrals you've given them or what value you've brought in them, what kind of content, what kind of things you guys can do together to stir up more referrals or more opportunities and stuff. If you're not being intentional with your referral partners, then you're like, man, why does nobody send me any referrals? Then that's why. You got to be active on that side. You can't be passive, handing out a business card saying, cool, I did my job, they'll send me referrals.
Yeah, it's so true. And just, it's such a good point. And it makes no sense to me how agents will sit and dial leads for 10 hours a day, dial, but will not carve out 30 minutes a day to do the things that you're talking about, to be intentional with making new connections, exploring opportunities with potential referral partners. Like, I truly don't know where that comes from. I hope it doesn't come just from like a lack of knowing what a process is. Like, hopefully this content is content that you can plug into and ideally take and put into action, and put a 30-minute block on your calendar every day, or a 2-hour block once a week, where you have dedicated time to really reach out to referral partners and to really be intentional about developing relationships. I talk to people all of the time, agents all the time, and they've got, this real estate agent or this attorney or that hair salon owner or daycare center owner, all of these people that they're connected with, that they're not actively cultivating a relationship with. And one of the things that has been so eye-opening to me, and I feel like this is overused, but it's so true, that your net worth is really wrapped up in your network. It's who you know. And I think because it's like leads is like short term, it's like, oh, I want to get a sale today. And so people will spend 10 hours on the phone in that chase, in the pursuit of getting that sale today, and not value the consistency of building long-term relationships. And the leads game, there's value, of course, in leads. You got to make sales today. But the reality is it's a short-term game. And sustainable businesses are built over the long term and playing long-term games with long-term people. So you got to start thinking long-term, and this building relationships and really building strategic referral partners in this way is going to be the thing that helps you get to the next level in your business and ultimately move off of that leads hamster wheel.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's not an either or. It's not like, oh, I either do referrals or I do leads. We're not saying like, oh, take all your time of calling your leads and focus on these areas instead. I mean, ideally, yeah, I'd love to never have to even touch or calling or chasing leads because I have so much coming through. But even taking a bit of time and being intentional and consistent with this leads to a lot of opportunities. And this doesn't have to be slow. Like, we've had people even in, days, weeks, or ever build these referral relationships, and it make a gigantic difference to their business. So this is not something like, oh, well, I don't really want to put time over there because it'll take months and months and years to get referrals and referral partners and stuff. I'm just going to keep slamming the leads and listen to this ringtone or whatever, but it makes a huge difference. Because if you think about it, on leads, I'm chasing each deal. And then I'm trying to chase the next one. And then I'm trying to spend time following up for people that are, tire kickers, not showing, kicking it down the road. But with referrals, if I get a referral partner and they're dropping me 15, 20 plus referrals a month, my business just changed overnight.
Forever.
Right. And that's where like that network and net worth thing is so key, because if I'm spending a little bit of time building up my connections, building up my network, building up my relationships, then that all continues to work for me as they are thinking, connecting with others that they're sending through to me, connecting me with, or someone I can just pull up my phone and give a call to of like, hey, I ran into this opportunity. Cool. I've got someone for you. Right. And so that's worth spending time on, because it leads to also really interesting opportunities of like through connections. Oh yeah, we need you on this podcast. We'd love to feature this magazine. We'd love to come speak here. We'd love to have you on this radio show. All these things, like all these bigger opportunities come from that, but doesn't really come from a lead. I've never called a lead and be like, oh man, I've enjoyed getting this policy so much. Let me get you on this podcast that I got rolling and have you talk to this whole audience of something. This doesn't generally happen, right? Where through this other side and building this up, you build a whole network of opportunity. So that's what I talk about, is being active in how I produce more and more referrals, and almost being as obsessed with that side as agents for some reason are obsessed with leads, right? And so I promise it'll pay you off way more and way better, because what's the return on free is infinite. So it's infinite return, right? And that's because referrals at the end of the day are the highest converting and easiest to close leads that we can get, right? And so that's where I want to obsess over filling more and more of that up, which makes everything easier when they're easier to close, less chasing, more convert, more stay as clients and retain, less chargebacks, more renewals. All those sort of things are absolutely key. So Elle, let's talk about, take this concept, right? Some agents say, hey, cool, I get a lot of referrals. I get a lot of, I have businesses referring over to me. Cool. But what can I be differently? What's changing? What's the new things I can start touching base or leveraging to help with some of these things? So what's changed in 2025 of some things agents can start leveraging or putting in place around referrals?
Well, social media is, I think, the number one thing that agents and any business owner in 2025 should be investing their time into. It is going to open up a world of opportunities for you, not just for lead generation and for your prospects to get to know you as a person and really get to understand the value that you bring as an expert in your field. But it also connects you to other people that have influence with your target market in a way that's never been available to us before. So with our clients, I will recommend to them, like, start checking out influencers on social media that have influence with your target market. That means that they have some level of following. You like their content, you're learning from them. Put them on a list. And if you're a person that, writes your goals down and you've got that somewhere on a wall, that should be in front of your face every single day, your top 10 to 20 people that you're looking to make a connection with. And you want to think about what you need to be doing on your side. So first, on the social media side, influencers on social media don't want to collaborate with people that have zero social media presence and are a secret agent themselves. So step one to this is really you starting to develop a social media presence, learning the skills of growing an audience and putting your own content out on social media that people are consuming and learning from and finding value in. You first have to work on yourself to be an attractive partner to work with any referral partner. And you can apply this concept. It doesn't have to just be on social media. You can apply this concept to any type of referral partnership that you're looking to build. You first have to ask yourself, what can I bring to this relationship? How can I add value to this person? And if you can't answer that question first, then you need to go to the drawing board, because when you approach these relationships, it can't just be take, give me referrals, I'll send you some referrals. very transactional, and we don't find that that creates a successful referral relationship. You really need to be intentional about the people that you want to connect with. Do some research on them. AI and ChatGPT makes it so easy to do this. It's literally connected to Google, and it'll do all the research for you. You can plug it in and say, these are the types of referral partners that would be good referral partners for me. Or you can even ask it, this is the type of insurance that I sell. This is a little bit about my business. This is the city that I'm located in. Who do you think would be good referral partners for me, ChatGPT? It'll create a list for you.
It's like the cheat code. Yeah.
I am so fired up about this right now because we have access to so much technology and information. It is literally at our fingertips. All you have to do is start using it and taking action and applying this inside of your business. So anyway, sorry, I went on a little tangent there because I am very fired up about the whole tech side of things. But the point here is that you can't come into these relationships with the idea of what can you do for me? It has to start with what can I do for you? And David, you are so good at this in the way that you approach these conversations and develop these relationships. I'm curious, can you have like a 3-step process or a way that you think about this as far as when you're looking to create a relationship? Like, does it happen just more organically for you, or are you pretty intentional about who you want to connect with and how you're reaching out to them?
All right, so let's start with the who. So definitely intentional with the who, because if I don't, because that just means the whole world is, is someone I could go connect with, but that doesn't help me at all, right? Like the whole, like, it's like being an insurance agent. I help everybody with everything. Well, it doesn't do you any good, right? Jack of all trades, master of none. No one knows you as special in any sort of reason. So that's why we want target audiences. So same thing here. I need to know my own target audience, which then helps it easier on who's going to be potentially really good strategic referral partners that works with my target audience, has trust and authority with them. Otherwise, who's not going to listen to a referral in the first place? And then that sees them regularly and maybe speaks with them often. It's very easy or natural for them to send referrals over. That's kind of some of the things I look for as far as strategic referral partners. And then I'll then break it down from there of some examples of different business types and stuff like that would be good for me to reach out to. So let's say if I work with very active seniors that live fitness focused lifestyles and enjoy getting out and about and either playing sports or stuff there, then I may look at even things that I might be passionate about, like pickleball. Cool. I might be connecting with different pickleball organizations, communities, pickleball coaches, fitness trainers, silver sneakers, things all around seniors and fitness, right? And that helps me identify certain businesses or organizations that could be strategic referral partners. Cool. And I'm going to go reach out and connect with them, right? And it could be very different if I'm connecting with young families or widows. It could be all kinds of things, right? So I need to know my target audience first off, or else it's going to be really hard to figure out who's going to even be good referral partners. So I figure that out. Now, I make together a list and it can be all different types. So once again, if I'm ever stuck on stuff, because we run into this all the time with agents, right? Let's be honest, agents sometimes not the most creative sometimes. And it's like, that's where, yes, let's use ChatGPT, let's use AI, give me examples of who might be good referral partners for my target audience. And here's what my target audience is. It will help you come up with ideas, right? Too. But I've got those and I want to reach out to them. And I make the reach out very easy, very laid back. That's not awkward, of me, especially when I don't make it about me. I always got to approach this about them, adding value to them. And just like, when I'm, trying to have a prospect, talk to me about insurance, I need it to have a hook. I need to have it be important or why to talk to me for some reason. So if I make it about them, that's part of the hook. And there's a lot of different ways to approach them very easily. But yeah, sometimes it's just like, hey, I would love to talk, learn a little bit more of your business, see what kind of synergies we have. I say we work in the same area, same city, or I say we help maybe the same audience, would love to connect or whatever. Most of the time that's good enough, right? Like most of the time people are like, yeah, absolutely. I'm always they're looking for referral partners too, and people they can, connect with also. If they're a good business owner, they should be, right? And so that's usually enough. And then sometimes I can do a little extra incentives of like, hey, I'm actually putting together a guide for top resources in the area for seniors. So you worked with seniors, would love to learn more about your business, about potentially including that guide or whatever. Oh yeah, I would love to talk to you about my business. All right. Once again, when I make it about them, people are happy and excited to listen. When I make it about me, they don't want to pay any attention. They get approached all the time, right? So I do that. And then I'm going to set up a nice 15, 20, 30-minute phone call, coffee, Zoom if they're not in person, no problem, right? I'll set something up, just low key, not a lot of time and attention. And this is where we get to know each other, dive in. I also want to very clearly have some ideas of how I can bring value to them to talk about that. Once again, it's something we run with agents all the time. I don't know what to do. I'm a brand new agent. I don't have clients. I don't have people to refer to them. I don't want to, pay them for referrals stuff, which I don't like transactional either. I'm not talking about that. But there's other ways to bring value besides those two things, right? And I think there are even better ways of providing value than those two things. And that's really where we want to come in, knowing how we can help them in some way, whether it's, doing content with them, whether it's teaching them even someone how to use social media within their business of areas like that they struggle with because they don't know how to leverage or use that, whether it's just even helping them at events, whether it's setup or helping them run events or doing a collaborative event together. There's so many ways. And if you don't know, what can you do, El?
Ask ChatGPT.
And even outside of ChatGPT, who else can you ask?
You can ask the person that you're looking to build a relationship with.
You can ask them, because you know what? That we're not mind readers either. So why don't we just ask them and have them tell us? Look at that. That's called a callback, guys. Now, listen, I could hop into comedy or something maybe. Al tells me I'm terrible at it. But anyways, so with that callback coming, you can ask them, right? How easy is it be like, hey, I'd love to help your business. What we need help with? What could I help with? How could I bring some value to your business? And they'd be like, real estate agent. I need some help with this open house. It's a bunch to kind of set up, but it looks like you work with new homeowners and stuff. So yeah, I'm happy to introduce you to some of these people looking to purchase homes. If you can help me set this up, yeah, cool. I can come help you set up the open house and help you do it. And of course, I'll be there and talking them up. Isn't Blank a great real estate agent? They did a great job of this open house. In fact, I wish I could buy this open house. This is pretty nice. Whatever. They appreciate help, support. That's the easy way to provide value. That's simple, guys. So ask them, right? So yeah, bring it back. That's a process. I want to know my target audience. I want to find out who helps my target audience, is very involved with them around those three areas I mentioned, and which is deals with my target audience, has trust and authority with them, and sees them very regularly, almost seem like friends almost in their eyes, right? That they can send over these referrals regularly and easily. And then I want to approach them, make it hooky, make it of course of how I can bring value to them synergistically. And I want to set up an appointment to talk through and discuss with them there, which actually goes both ways. It's us seeing if they're going to be a potentially good strategic referral partner for us, and that makes sense for me to invest some time and energy into this, and vice versa. If I'm going to be a good relationship and referral partner with them as a part of it, because it's a two-way street. And sometimes it's going to be like, oh, you know what? This may not be the best, but I'm glad we got to connect. And a lot of times be like, cool, I see a lot of great things here. Now we can set up a regular path of connections, opportunities together outside of or from that, which it really goes into a strategic referral partner relationship. So, and once again, the nice thing is I don't need 100 of these. Just a handful of these keeps pipelines completely full. And that's why we talk about strategic and not just like handing out business cards, right? So Elle, we talked a lot about that. So let's go ahead and hop to the three key referral sources every agent needs. So Elle, what's the first key referral source that agents absolutely need?
Well, you talked a lot about it already.
I already did. I know. I got very excited, guys. Sometimes I just hop into things because I get very passionate. So, but oh well.
Yeah. So those referral partnerships. I mean, that's honestly one of your biggest levers that you can pull inside of your business, of really thinking about building a pipeline of referrals, is connecting with those people that have influence with your particular target market. And at first, it's going to be difficult as you are building your business and establishing your own authority. You're probably going to have to push yourself to be a little bit uncomfortable, to do reach outs, have conversations in maybe ways that you haven't had before. But your referral partner conversations, when you're doing that discovery, it's the same thing as having a discovery call with a client or doing a needs analysis with them, of really understanding what's important to them at the end of the day and seeing how you can help them with a solution and solve a problem. So really taking care and time to develop those partnerships is what we've been talking about here. It could just be 30 minutes a day. It could be 2 hours a week, that you're really just putting intention behind this. It starts with that list. Make a list of people that it could be a dream list of 20 people that you would love to be featured on their YouTube channel, on their Instagram, their TikTok, or even maybe it's somebody that has influence in your community, like the mayor, or it could even be maybe like the head of your chamber of commerce, or maybe there's a really prominent real estate agent that has a massive team and her photo is all over your city on a billboard and on the benches and on the buses. Like maybe it's that person you want to build a relationship with. So start making your list of people and start thinking about, okay, well, how can I start to approach this? Working on yourself. And this is going to be the next key here, is going to be the social media aspect of this. Really starting to build your presence, your persona online, and being your own person of influence, building your own audience so that it is attractive to want to collaborate with you. And that can start today. There are things that you can start putting into place today. I think people so often on social, they want to have the perfect presence. They think about in their mind, like all of these ideas that they have, the persona that they want to build, but they get so stuck in the analysis paralysis of it that they never post a piece of content, or they shoot the video. They spend 2 hours trying to get the perfect video, and then they're not ever happy with the end result, and they never post it. So just getting started today with your content. And again, there's probably a theme here. It's about that consistency. Consistently showing up on social media is way better than posting 2 really great videos a month. Showing up every single day on social media that is more content, more consistent content, is ultimately going to serve you better than trying to create the perfect polished persona that you're putting out online.
Love it. And I think, we're about to get into inception here a little bit. Like, we're talking about, attracting referrals. Like, we actively, how do I get these referrals? But if I go a step above this, which is some of what Elle was tapping into there, of attracting referral partners to actually come to me and want to be referral partners with me, how much even easier is that if I'm actually having referral partners want to come to me and talk with me? But how do I make that happen? Because normally it isn't, once again, I just sit there and they come to me, right? Even if I'm doing a good job with clients, generally referral partners aren't just banging on my door like, hey, heard you're a great agent, let me talk to you, right? How do they know I'm a great agent, really, right? And so that's where, if I'm building an audience, a trust, a personal brand, and doing these things, that's when I can have referral partners like, absolutely think I could bring a lot of value to you and your clients. In fact, I have a lot that I could send over to you. How much easier it is when they come to me also. We talk about clients coming to us. Well, how much even better is it when referral partners come to us? And now I can have lots of opportunity. And that comes through building your brand, building trust, and building an audience. When you have even better if it's a very specific audience and you have that trust, attention, they see you as an authority or someone who provides values and someone they're watching or paying attention to, you have all kinds of opportunities that come from that, right? I can't tell you how often we get approached by people, whether it's, being on podcasts or speaking at a conference or, something with an article or a request on that side, or, wanting to be on some of our own, but they have something, they have value they can bring also. And that because we have an audience. We have an audience that trusts us. We've done a good job with them. And that attracts people of like, hey, I see there's stuff going on there, right? And so that's the same thing. Think about that yourself. If your target audience and niche is young entrepreneurs that are, building and scaling their businesses, and you're helping them with, like, building wealth and stuff like IULs and things like that, cool. Then if I build up that audience, then other people who work with young entrepreneurs and stuff like that, they're going to come to me and be like, hey, I see you got a lot of influence on that side. That's what I do too. Like, as far as working with them, I'd love to do that also. So once again, building audiences, building trust. Once again, social media, one of the biggest areas I can do this in, leads to these opportunities, and even leads for referral partners coming to you, which is step above just getting referrals.
Yeah. And it all works together too. So, I mean, it's one of those things where you have your referral partners, you've got clients, you've got prospects, that you think about your social media as this hub that they're all intersected and all mingled together in this audience. And it's very cool too when you start posting content, and maybe it's something about how you helped a client, and then maybe you got another client that's posting on your post saying like, you helped me too with X, Y, and Z. Well, that's a ton of social proof, not just to other people that are maybe considering working with you as their agent, but also referral partners that are considering whether or not they want to pursue building a relationship and a partnership together. And I just cannot emphasize the audience enough. And just, I don't know where you listening right now, how much you know about David and I and our background, but we did not come from the insurance space. We knew nothing about insurance or anything about running an insurance business when we started building a Facebook group for insurance agents in 2018. We knew marketing. We had a background in marketing. That was our skill set. And we made a decision that we were going to start niching down to working specifically with insurance agents. And we learned about the business and became agency owners ourselves through the process. But now we have an audience at the time of recording this of 35,000 insurance agents in a Facebook group community. And the amount of opportunities, high level people in the insurance space that reach out to us it's not necessarily a simple thing as far as the audience, but it has opened so many doors for us that we have a large following. And I just can't emphasize it enough about, again, going back to this idea of building in these longer term plays into your marketing strategy. Like David, I don't know how many times throughout building the community and the Facebook group, like every day he could have been like, you know what? It's really hard to get people to join our Facebook group. I don't feel like posting content. I don't feel like going live. I don't feel like doing the reach outs today. But every single day, he practically hand built that Facebook group up to the first 1,000 members because there wasn't a lot of engagement. It was a tough audience as far as building it. He was manually in there every single day, and he would friend request people, and then he would invite them to the group. We didn't have a team of VAs helping us. That was him manually doing that to build that group up to what was really kind of like the critical mass was about 1,000 members, where we started getting more engagement, and the group started organically growing. Day after day after day. And you were consistent with it. You showed up. And that consistency from, 8 years ago that we started the group has now grown into this large audience that has given us not only a platform and also so much education to now know all of the things that we do know about the insurance space, but an opportunity to be in rooms and have conversations and speak with people that we would not have otherwise.
Yeah, it's been incredible. So like putting time and attention to building your audience, building your brand, personal brand. Very big into this, and agents building that, because that's where you want the trust, that's where you want the authority, that's where you want the referrals to you, your team, your agency is part of that. And it's not an overnight thing, but the more I put towards, you'll find it does have more of a snowball effect and gets bigger and bigger and just builds on top of each other. It's not even linear. It's just like all of a sudden there's a lot of things happening, or even just a few key relationships can make a huge difference there. So that's just being intentional, making sure I don't get caught and just overwhelmed by the day to day, to where I'm not thinking past just that day, right? I'm not thinking past just, well, call the next lead, right? And that's where we're coming from, this perspective of like, what is going to be the most beneficial, profitable, and even, dare I say, fun way of building and scaling my business, right?
What?
I know.
Building business can be fun?
Weird, right? So weird. It's not like we have, Nerf guns and, lightsabers and stuff outside, which we do. Elle and I got into a lightsaber Nerf gun battle yesterday. And, you can have fun building your business. And I think when we enjoy what we do, we have fun with it, it's so much easier to build and scale. And it comes through to our clients, our referral partners, all that stuff, when we actually enjoy and passionate about what we do, versus like, man, I can't believe I'm doing this thing and I can't wait to get home. So, yeah, I mean, anything on that you want to add?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think when you're having fun with building your business, your clients, your referral partners, they feel that too. Like when you bring energy to your relationships and to opportunities, and you're really excited to sit down with people, meet them and collaborate with them, like they're going to feed off of that. And your energy and how you show up is going to be a huge determining factor for you in your success in any business. But especially when you're thinking about these referral relationships, people want to keep having conversations with people when they leave a conversation being like, that felt good. Wow, what a good conversation. Like they're looking forward to the next one. So having fun, finding what is like your vibe in this is really, really important. And also important to be able to sustainably do this business day after day. We've talked a lot about consistently showing up regularly. You got to find those things that bring you joy in this business, because there's lots of things about it that are really difficult and really hard. So lean into the things, find those moments of joy, and have a good time with it.
So love it. So recapping real quick on the 3 referral opportunities that we were talking about is strategic referral partner relationships that we talked about earlier, social media referrals and engagement loops. We started talking about social media and the opportunities and stuff that come from there. And then client-based referrals, of course, which is where we kind of started off and went through the process of asking them what that looks like and stuff there also. So let's talk about, and we've talked about these already, so we can kind of recap the ones we've kind of talked about already on a few of these, on the biggest referral mistakes that that keep agents stuck. Let's free them from being stuck and break free on that. So Elle, what are 3 of the biggest mistakes we see agents make?
Well, the first one we talked about was the mindset. So this idea of like just taking a back seat to your referrals, being very passive about it, and really switching that mindset so that you are an active participant in your referrals.
Yep. And the asking, as far as asking referrals, on the who do you know, or if you know somebody, or if you ever, keep me in mind for the future, like the very passive, like you said, of asking for it, right?
Or not asking at all.
No, it kills it. Oh yeah, even worse, not asking at all, right? At least that person was asking somewhat, right? And so, we got to ask, the closed mouth doesn't get fed, right? And I want to get fed. I'm hungry. All right. So, and I've talked about, the key thing, also treating like referrals like transactions will also make them dry up, right? And that's why I hate the transactional, nature of some referral relationships, of paying per transaction, whether it's a small amount of money or gift cards. We're even regulated on insurance on how much we can even do for that type of stuff anyways. And it's the quickest thing to kill stuff for that relationship not to feel natural at all. And it just doesn't last. It's weird. It's awkward, right? I hate transactional opportunities, or treating referrals like transactions. Like, hey, I need 5 of these this month or ever from you. Like, I really want the most value, relationships, everything to go with my referral partners or my referrals, because they're already coming with trust, and I can build and expand upon that versus trying to convince someone who thinks I'm a scam off the bat to trust me, right? I'd much rather deal with the easy than try to make something hard happen, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the last mistake is that agents don't really like follow up on either their referral
follow up.
Either like David was talking about the process as far as like asking at the time that, you know, you've helped a client, but at the time that you're also delivering the policy to the client, and that, because really that's like when your job is done, right? And your job is never really done, but that's really when the deal is closed. And that you're not just asking once, that you're following up on things, you're doing it in that conversational way with your clients. And then the big one is those referral partners that people a lot of times will like, oh yeah, we should sit down, we should talk. Like they'll even make the connection, but then they never follow through with that relationship, or they're not the ones to really like take initiative and set the pace. So really making sure that you're thinking about like building a pipeline of referrals requires touch points. It requires check-ins. It requires a level of detail and follow-up. Like, how many times have you called that lead? 10 times, 12 times? Well, how many attempts have you made to sit down with your referral partner or take them out to coffee, or do something in collaboration together? Like David was talking about, bring that same energy that you've got of dialing 10 hours a day, bring that to your referral game, and it's going to change your business.
I wish people bring half that energy, right? It takes way more energy dial a day than go form these referral partners.
Like, what? I got to spend 30 minutes a day on
this? No, yeah. And so, and like, it's interesting that agents that, you know, they know of the buy or die mindset, but it seems like that only applies up to the point of like, oh, I talked to them, they didn't move forward, right? Okay, on to the next. And so whether if I've got quotes out, it's someone, hey, come back in the future, I'm gonna leave the country, I'll be back in a month. Agent's like, oh, okay, I'm just going on the next lead, and no follow-up. So it's not really buy or die, it's buy, you know, I get one chance of talking to them, and then yeah, they're dead to me, I'm moving on, right? And so no, reality is that follow-up. It is continuously following up. That applies to both prospects, but of course it applies to my referrals and my referral partners. I want to continue the relationship. I want to continue to touch base. I want to continue to plan this out, and I will get more and more referrals, more and more business because of that. Just like if I've never talked to a client after selling them, they don't even remember my name, I'm not going to get any more business from them, any more referrals. It's easy for them to even change to another agent versus if I've kept the relationship there. Same thing with referral partners. If I want these ongoing relationships of lots and lots of referrals, I got to be intentional. I got to be active, and I got to keep those relationships too. So, so Elle, how can they put their referrals on autopilot?
So they need to be building a system around their referrals. Just like you have a pipeline that you work for your leads, you really want to, like we were just talking about, really start thinking about building those touch points, and not just building it, but actually executing on touch points for your referral opportunities. So we talk about referral partners and comboing that with social media as being a great opportunity, and one of the best opportunities, in my opinion, for generating the highest quality leads consistently over time for $0. And so with your referral partners, you really want to start building out a pipeline and actually tracking your touch points with your referral partners, creating that list of people that you're going to reach out to, and sitting down with them to actually map out, like, what are you going to do together? Maybe it's like what David mentioned. If it's a real estate agent, you're coming to one of their open houses and helping them. Maybe you're doing a joint workshop, some co-branded social media content together. Really map that out and then execute it. And then once you have the relationship established, again, going back to the follow-up thing, don't just let it be, oh yeah, we did that thing one time together with that real estate agent. Make it a consistent thing that you're doing on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. Reach out to them, touch base with them, get to know them on a personal level. If you're connected with them on social media, you saw that they took a family trip for spring break, send them a quick text message. Oh, how was spring break? Did you enjoy Cancun? Or, things like that. Make sure that you're building that genuine connection with them. And I really encourage you to have either, at a very least, an Excel spreadsheet, or actually build out a pipeline in your CRM that's tracking these touch points with your referral partners.
Love it. So planning out weekly activities, the game plan, executing that to consistently both develop new referral relationships and with my existing ones, tracking those, like you said, with Google Sheet or Tracker on that, and turning those, like you said, a one-time referral into an ongoing referral relationship. If someone's able to send me one referral, usually they're able to send me more, especially if it's a business that deals with those types of clients. Fantastic. I want to sit down, plan out something ongoing, purposeful with them, how I can bring value to them too. And now I've just turned, hey, I know you do this. I figured I'd send this over to you, to, oh yeah, I'm sending this ongoing, and you're getting a lot of business coming from that. Right. So I want to be intentional about that. And then, and that's where, yes, the systems, automation tools make this easier, right? So use technology, use your tracking, use your systems, and that goes for a lot of areas in your business. And so the scratch piece of paper, that's fine, but we want to eventually get this into systems and leverage tools to make our lives easier, especially as we eventually bring on team members like other producers, virtual assistants, things like that. That makes it easier when we have systems and processes. So what are some final takeaways before we wrap up for today?
Referral should be your number one lead source in 2025. And really, I also hope that you've taken away from this consistency. Really, just 20, 30 minutes a day could totally change the trajectory of your business, and your business could look completely different 1 year from now with that consistency of 30 minutes a day. And start becoming your own person of interest. Put the time and effort into building up your own social media. Start building influence and start building an audience. It doesn't have to be perfect, but get started with that right away if you're not doing it already.
Love it. So, I mean, mindset wise, shift away from the chasing to the attracting. You'll find you'll get better quality. It'll be easier. You'll have more fun. You'll enjoy what you do. And it's easier to build a brand, target audience around that. And the second thing is taking action. This goes for all of our podcasts, all the things we talk about, any of the trainings we do, everything. We always say, if you're going to come listen to this, if you're listening to this podcast, you're watching it, you're checking out, if you're not going to go put the things in place and apply what you learn, you just kind of wasted time, right? Maybe we're entertaining. Maybe we're funny and comedy and you got some laughs out of it. Cool. That's fantastic. If you're listening to this more for growing your business, then you got to put things in place, or else it isn't the best use of time. So if you listen to this, take at least one thing from what we talked about and go put that in place so that you can start making progress and seeing results from that. Whereas if you're just listening, you're not going to see that. So go take action today. We've really enjoyed talking with you. Elle, one last time, where can they go get resources for building and scaling their business, and from what we talked about today?
You can head over to jumpstartgonow.com/podcast to get all of the resources that we mentioned about today. And this would actually be a great action step to take, because we've got marketing checklists, resources there to help you get started in implementing your own organic lead generation.
Oh, there we go. There's your first step right there. So go grab it, and stay tuned for the next episode of the Modern Insurance Agents Podcast. We'll see you there.